Ducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Tony, welcome to Go.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony.
Good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Hello! Do it like that.
Hello!
Yeah, like that.
Hello!
Not like that.
No, that was awful.
The one you did when I wasn't.
Hello!
Okay, save it for when it's on.
Sorry.
God, you know, I turn off the microphone, and you're like, gold. I turn the microphone on, I get ah. Seriously, ready?
Hello! Damn, it wasn't it either. Damn it. Hello!
That was it!
Alright, this is the one. Hello! Hello!
Hello!
Hello. 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 Hello.
So yeah, do it like hey. All right, you ready? From hey.
Hey.
Now.
Hello. Hey. Hello.
Do it like that.
Hello.
Yeah, like that.
Hello.
Not like that.
No, that was awful.
The one you did when I wasn't.
Hello.
Okay, save it for when it's on.
Sorry.
God, I turned up.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. If you're the Knockem Day Comedy Show coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Thanks for joining us today. Good to see everybody. The Knockem Day Comedy Show, we're on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, that's great. Please follow the page. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the page, hit the thumbs up, and do all that good stuff. No matter where you're watching from, please share the link all over your socials and tell everybody you know about all the great shows here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. And if you're watching and you'd like to comment and be a part of our show today, you want to hear your name read, your comments read, you want to be a part of it, please switch over to the YouTube feed if you're not there already, because that is where we monitor the comments. We check out the YouTube feed. Nothing against Facebook. It's just, I can only be at so many places at so many times. So, so head on over to the YouTube feed. That is where we monitor the comments. Just like John Rusiello just said good morning. Good morning to you, John Rusiello, sir. All right. Bear with me. All sorts of confusion here this morning. We are promoting the big show tomorrow. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast presents Clash of the Boroughs, Staten Island and Astoria, Queens. Mike Bocchetti and friends. Mike Bocchetti will be hosting. That's a reason enough to be at this show. But Johnny McDonald, Sean Kearns, Courtney Otero, making his comedy debut, Andrew Farella, and headlining New York funny man Greg Criticos. It's going to be a fun night, and that's what we're promoting. That's at the Giggle Room here at Governor's. That's tomorrow night. Go to govs.com, make your reservations. It's going to be a really great show. But we've been promoting that for weeks and weeks and weeks. And Greg Criticos, who is headlining the show, who I've known for a while, he's a bit of a prick. He was supposed to be here Monday, and he couldn't make it. He got in touch with me that morning, Monday morning, saying he was having trouble with transportation, and he couldn't get here. Now, he was already scheduled to come in Monday and today. So I was like, okay, not the end of the world. See you Friday. Well, it is 11:05 on my clock. 10:36, I get a text from Greg saying that he's not coming. 10:36. That gave me no time to prepare, no time to get ready. I'm having Zoom issues as it is because Mike Bocchetti is joining us. But I'm having Zoom issues, so I'm trying to get myself situated. And I'm a little cranky, and I'll tell you why. and Mike is there. So, Mike, we're going to bring you in a second. I just want to explain why I'm cranky this morning. I live in a town called Hicksville. I'm currently at Governor's in Levittown. I'm in Hicksville, which is one town over. Hicksville has a big Indian population. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if Indian is the proper politically correct word anymore. It used to be Middle Eastern. It used to be, I don't know, it used to be a bunch of different things. But yes, I'm talking about Indians from the Middle East. I'm just trying to describe to you as best I can where they're from. I don't know if I'm being politically incorrect or not. If I am being politically correct, my apologies, because I'm not trying to be. But you guys piss me off. So Hicksville has a large population of them, which is fine. They're all very nice people. They have a lot of holidays. And today is one of them. Forgive me, I don't know what holiday it is. But they're celebrating something. A lot of them have lights on their houses, and they're having parties. And I don't know if it means something or not, but at 2:36 this morning, yes, 36 seems to be the number of the day. 2:36 this morning, Lisa and I were awakened, I don't know, woke up to fireworks. 2:36 this morning. They were celebrating whatever their holiday is, and so I don't know if something happened at 2:36 that they had to shoot off fireworks at that moment. Either way, that's what happened, and it woke us up, and I barely slept after that because it scared the poop out of me. And it only lasted like 2 or 3 minutes, but it didn't matter. I was up at that point. You sons of bitches. Just let us know. Maybe they did. Maybe they told people of Fixville, hey, at 2:36 this morning, we're going to shoot off fireworks. Be prepared. I don't know. If they sent out a memo, I missed it. So, So I'm just, I'm a little messy this morning. I'm having trouble with Zoom, as you guys know. So I even warned Mike Bocchetti. I said, Mike, I'm trying to get Zoom to work. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll do the best we can. We're having all sorts of crazy stuff. Mike, originally we said 12 o'clock he was going to join us, but he's there, so we may as well bring him in. All right, let's see. All right, I got it. Whoops. All right. Mike, let's see. Can you... Oh, there you go. I think you're unmuted. Whoops. Now, where did he go? Hang on. Oh, my goodness. Hang on a second. I just... Yeah, I told you. I'm having problems with Zoom this morning. Give me a second. I think I'm going to get this... I think I'm going to be able to get this to work. Just give me a second. Let me put this here like that. Let's see. Okay. I think we're good. Can you hear me, pal?
Absolutely, Tony. How you doing?
Nice.
You're having a horrible day. My apologies.
Do you know Kritikos?
Not a lot. I haven't seen him in a long time. I met him a handful of times.
I need somebody to smack him for me.
I haven't had a fight since the third grade, so I'm wrong.
You haven't had a fight since the third grade?
Well, put it this way: we can settle over a cup of Frappuccino right now. I'm old and fat.
Come on,
That's good. I can do it, but if someone was going to pound your head in, I would definitely intervene.
Thanks, pal. What? You never punched Artie Lang. I find that hard to believe.
Well, you know what? Here's the story with him, right? First of all, when drugs and alcohol have a lot of effect on different people. You know what I mean? It affects you in different ways, right?
Yeah.
I myself, being a former alcoholic, was Mr. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So, but the thing with him is, like, when he was sober, he was one of the sweetest person on earth, a total gentleman.
I've heard that actually. Yeah.
With the drugs and alcohol, made him a total Mr. Hyde to people.
Wow.
I mean, sometimes he would say stuff on the show that was like, it would make me furious. Like, he would say, like, hey, man, I just made $20,000 a week in Caroline's. What did you bring home this week? You know what I mean?
Wow.
You shouldn't be, you know what I mean? It's very tacky, Tony, to bring out money with people. You know what I mean? Right?
Of course.
I never do.
Right. And especially now. I mean, look, fine, he made it the 20 grand then, but, now, he's, he can barely leave the house, for crying out loud.
And he pitted me up against people, which I so hate because he booked some comics that I knew that I was friends with, and they opened for him, and he goes, "How do you like that? I'm using them instead of you." You know what I mean? And things like that, and then
Wow.
I'm paying him more money than he ever paid you. You know what I mean? You humiliated me like that. You know what I mean? It's like, not only that, the saddest part of that show was, I'm glad. I feel like I'm in the confessional booth now. But,
Say 5 Hail Marys, my son.
Is it okay if I keep going with this? Because,
Yeah.
Thank you. Because, okay, I was out of my atmosphere there, right? You're a regular kind of guy like I am, a blue collar guy. So is so is Don Sill. He's just all the same kind of guys, right? Artie is too. But a lot of the staff on the show were like trust fund kids.
Right.
Under the age of 30, right? And you know what I mean? They wore like $1,400 down jackets, you know what I mean? And they were used to all kinds of stuff. And I was never used to that kind of stuff, right? But that, not that it makes, there are people that have money that don't think they're better than people, but just the way they I feel like I didn't fit in. And then there was my boss. Well, he wasn't a boss, but he was worked at HG, whatever they called it, thing, right?
Yeah.
He was there. Here's how obnoxious this, can I curse on here or no?
Yeah, of course.
This is how obnoxious this fucking prick was. What do you call it? On there. He was like about 25 years old at the time, right?
Yeah.
He came from New Hampshire. He was definitely a major trust fund kid, right? And I went out at my own pocket, Tony, right?
Yeah.
Bought nice clothes to look good on the show every night. Like one time I wore something in that was really nice. And he goes, that looks perfect, except you didn't get a belt. What happened? Like like a belt. You know what I mean? I went out of my way for all this nonsense, and he'd say stuff like that.
Right. He had to find something. Yeah.
He don't know how close he had his head stuck in his head. And I still wanted to, you know what I mean, right? And it's really crazy. You're gonna love this, right? One time there's a guest that came on the show. He was like a reality kind of guy.
Okay.
But he had an unusual story, right? His name is Knockem. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No.
But here's his story, right? He was like the vice president of one of the 1% bike groups in the country. Am I right or wrong, right? A former Marine, listen to this, right? And like a 5th-degree black belt in BJJ. You know what I mean? Like really bad, right? But you know what happened? He came over to me and he hugged me. He goes, man, I watch your show every night. They bully you, dude, and I fucking can't stomach bullies.
Yeah, man, and they did.
And you know what he said? He goes, at this tonight, if lying and need to act up, I'm going to wreck this fucking place on your behalf.
Oh, shit.
Right? He goes, take it out of him. You even sneeze it the wrong way. I'm going to wreck this place like Rambo did. He goes, you know what? He goes, and let them try to take me down. He goes, this SWAT will have to take me down when I get this mess done. He probably, think about it. First of all, he was a former Marine. He's you know what I mean? He knows how to take people out physically with martial arts.
Yeah.
And he was like the, vice president of like one of the major 1%ers. So he's not afraid of anything.
Well, yeah, right.
And you know what's really funny? He gave me his business card. How funny is that, right? He said, I'm staying in town for about a week. If you have any issues or problems with people, call Knockem. But
Wow.
that's not the first time something like that happened to me in my life, because over my life, like all the real tough guys like him always went to bat for me when somebody went to bully me. How cool is that?
Well, you're a likable guy, and then that's what people do. They stick up.
They absolutely do, because I'm so glad we're doing interviews together. You're such a fun guy, too.
Oh, thanks, pal. Takes one to know one.
Yeah, but the thing is about these Indians you were talking about, I don't know what to call them either. I mean, because
I have no idea.
Like years ago when we were growing up, right, we called Asian people Oriental, right?
Right.
And now that's an offense. That's probably an offensive word to call them today.
Yes, it is.
Right. And I don't know what to call them. And if you call Indian people Indians, they may get picked on. I don't know what to call them.
Well, Indians is confusing to me because there's so many different types of Indians, so I'm not sure which one to go with.
No,
So
it covers a whole group of people. It's not just
Right.
like it covers like India, Sri Lanka. I mean, so many countries.
and then native Indians, like I.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I was trying to just say Middle Eastern people. I don't.
I don't know either, because today's our holiday, All Saints Day for Catholics and Christians.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Well, I don't know if that's what they're celebrating. I have one of our viewers, Vicky, says it's Diwali. And I have no idea what that is, but apparently that's the holiday they're celebrating with fireworks.
I seen it in the Mojo. I wasn't sure what it was. I was like,
all I know is that there were fireworks going off at 2:30 in the morning and woke me up. That's all I know.
well, I'm shocked, because usually the Indian people I met are very chilled and laid back, and they don't want problems with people. You know what I mean? They're very like peaceful people, laid back. I didn't even know they owned fireworks.
I mean, and you're right. They do. They are very nice people. I have no problem with them whatsoever. And yeah, shoot up fireworks all you want. Just do it,
I'm
at a reasonable hour.
Fireworks. They have a house full of AK-47 as well.
Nobody was yelling jihad or anything, so I was happy. But
No, and the thing is, like, you never know, like, because I don't know how true this is. You know a lot about the Amish. I know a little bit about them.
No, not really.
Because I heard the Amish have firearms in their house.
Oh.
And aren't afraid to use them in case burglars break in. Because, you know what? It wouldn't shock me. They're peaceful people. But the thing is, look where they are. They're deep. I mean, there's parts of Long Island in the country. You got to, you know what I mean. You got to be careful too.
Oh yeah.
And you need firearms for like wild animals or anything else.
But the Amish don't have anything I'd want to steal.
I know. What do they have really?
Right? They don't have iPods or TVs or stereos or computers.
No. Oh, you want to hear something really crazy? My friend had passed away like this year, right?
Oh, sorry.
We went to Lancaster, PA a bunch of times, right? And we would now the Amish are not allowed to take pictures of people because they think it's a graven image, right?
Right.
We seen this Amish kid about 10 years old, right? He had a camera with him under his stomach, under his thing.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yo, dude, you want to take a picture of me?" I go, "This is so wrong, right?"
Yeah.
My friend handed him $20. He goes, "Take a feel for us."
But that's the thing. Don't they have that? Don't the Amish have that thing where like the kids can go off for like a year or something?
Oh yeah. And when they turn 18, they're allowed to go berserk wherever they want to go anywhere in the world and country. And if they don't want to be Amish anymore, they don't have to come back.
I want to be Amish just for that, just so I can go berserk for a year.
Oh God, me too. I did go berserk for a bunch of years in a row.
You've been sober for what, like 10, 15 years? 10 years, right?
27 years.
27 years. I was close. Wow, that's fantastic. Good for you, pal.
How are you yourself when it comes to drinking? I started drinking at 14 years old. I actually started drinking on Halloween.
Oh, really? So yesterday was your anniversary?
I started drinking Halloween 1975 at 14.
Wow. I was never a big drinker. Even in high school, I was not a drinker. Which was good because I was the guy that covered for all my friends, and especially once we got to driving, then I was popular because I was the driver.
And you probably kept them in line too to get out of hand with people. I'm sure, right? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed a little bit of trouble and a little bit of wildness, but after a while, it was getting old. I had one friend that was like he'd pass out while peeing, and I'd have.
Oh, whoa! That sounds like me.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you had a friend that would then pick you up and zipper your pants up, like I did for my buddy.
I might have. I was so black. I blacked out so many times. It might have happened.
he even once or twice would get up in his bedroom. He would get out of bed, think he was in the bathroom, and just start peeing in his bedroom on the floor.
Oh, that happened in my living room. because I came home, I was really hammered.
Yeah.
I started pissing in my living room. My brother was a wise ass. He whipped an apple in the back of my head on purpose.
That's fantastic. Now you mentioned Marines. Is it true you were a Marine yourself at one point?
I can't qualify to call myself a Marine because you have to graduate to be an actual Marine. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You have to graduate and get the Globe, Anchor, and Eagle. You know what I mean? That's what they give you.
Yeah.
I lasted for 6 weeks. I didn't go the whole term. It was an experience. I'll put it that way, and it was a good experience for me because, first of all, I was 19 years old. I was not as disciplined as I am now. You know what I mean? Because I think if I take the man that I am now and brought back him into a 19-year-old kid, I would have graduated easily.
I hear you.
But I wasn't disciplined. And the thing is, anybody that's thinking about joining the Marines, you know what? It's a great choice if you can do it. But watch the movie Full Metal Jacket before you even think about going. You know what I mean, right?
Right.
It's a pretty accurate account of how it is.
I bet. Yeah, it takes a special
person. Like, who's a Marine is the comic that I love, and you know him too. Billy Bingo was a Marine.
Yes, and and a hero fireman too. Yeah.
And you know who else too from Long Island? And he was a drill instructor, even more so as a comedian. John Consoli.
Oh, is that right? Oh, I didn't know that.
John was a drill instructor. How crazy is that, Ray? He was a Marine and a drill instructor. And you know what's cool about him? He was one of the youngest drill instructors ever in the Marine Corps. At 19 years old, he became a drill instructor.
Wow.
I love John because he's very cool and chill. But he'll probably still rip your face off him.
Yeah. And then, those guys were in the service, and then...
I love Bingo because he is a hero to me. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely right.
Not only a Marine, but he was a 9/11 responder. And the cool thing about him is he had just retired 5 days earlier, and he went back on the force. You know what I mean?
Wow. 5.
Unbelievable.
Wow, I didn't know that. I don't know Billy well. I know him, but I don't know him well. I didn't know that. So 5 days before that, he retired?
He retired, then he found out what happened. There's a couple of different stories that are sad. There was one guy, right, that was on vacation. He was a fireman way upstate, on vacation, came all the way back. He, ran through the Holland Tunnel because they wouldn't allow people
Right.
in.
Yeah.
He wound up having a major heart attack and died in the tunnel. I'm like, whoa.
Wow. Wow, I've never heard that.
So many stories. You hear so many horror stories of that because.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know what? We know how bad it was. The sad thing is, anybody born in the 2000s really don't affect them. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. First off, it's just amazing to me how time flies because it's 23 years already, and 23 years. I mean, so you have comedians that are coming up now, who are anywhere from 18 to 23. That so that day means nothing to them. Not that it means nothing, but it doesn't have the same effect on them. That it's almost like for us with Pearl Harbor. We know it happened, of course. We read the stories, we respect it, we're sad about it, but it doesn't have that same effect as 9/11 because we lived through it.
Our grandparents, what
right?
I mean? Because my mom was like 3 years old when it happened. My uncles weren't even born yet. You know what I mean?
Right. So now you have these comedians now that I saw a guy. He's a comedian. He's in his late 20s, but. I saw him at the brokerage probably about a year ago, and he was doing 9/11 jokes.
Whoa.
And the crowd was getting mad. So, I mean, but that's a whole other subject. If you're losing that crowd, you can't continue to lose them.
No, you can't. That's the worst mistake ever because if you put yourself in a hole, dig it out quick if you can because...
Exactly. But
I remember I did a show at the brokerage years ago, right? It was kind of I said a joke, and some people got like that with me.
Yeah.
I'll repeat the joke. It's kind of, some people may hate it, but it's meant in jest. I said, how many people have heard of Juice for Jesus? I go, isn't it a little late? Well, these guys 2,000 years ago, right? And some guy yelled, you hear what that fucking idiot just said? Somebody yelled at me. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like...
And what do you do at that point?
I know. And I was an idiot when I was a younger comic because I did a gig down south in North Carolina, right?
Right.
And it was so much fun in Wilmington. Just kidding around with them, right? And this is going back to 96. I said, by round of applause, how many people think John Wilkes Booth is a national hero? I said, kidding about them. You know what happened? 5 guys yelled out, he sure is.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. I go, what do you think of him? So they asked me, and I go, well, I'm very cool with him. I said, I actually have a picture of him on my wall in my house.
So, sorry, I never met the man. I'm sure he was a nice guy.
Oh, you know what's crazy, right? Did you ever go to Chuckles when they were open in Mineola?
Yeah, of course.
They had a picture of Booth on the wall. Do you remember that? A headshot.
I don't remember that.
They
Why?
had a headshot of John Wilkes Booth. You know what it said? John Truman booked it then at the time, right?
Yeah.
And I went, hey, John, thanks for the spot. I killed John.
That's fantastic.
I haven't seen him in a long time. True, I don't even know what he's up to.
Truman, I believe he's in this building as we speak.
I love him because you know one cool thing about him is he booked me like 30 years ago at Chuckles, right?
Yeah.
And the show, I did a couple of shows. The first show was a nightmare because what happened was the host was running late, right? The what do you call it? The waitress knew nothing really about comedy, right? She put a guy on the host named Ray Salamino. I don't know if you remember him.
No.
He was a guy on a unicycle that did comedy. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
She brings a guy out on a unicycle to host the show. Right? I'm like, oh no, we're starting off with a nightmare already, right?
Yeah, right.
The first act that goes up is a great friend of mine who's one of the funniest people ever, Ted Alexandra, who I love, right? Ted went up. Before Ted was up there 5 minutes, they started dropping food on him.
Oh, wow.
Dinners were coming out, right? So I come out up, right? And the crowd starts, what do you call it? Started fighting, heckling me, right? I'm like, oh no, right?
Yeah.
So then our friend, you probably remember him, Mike Reef.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is. I didn't know.
He's like a big biker type, really
Yeah.
really a big teddy bear, right? He gets up there looks at the crowd with a stern look, and goes, "You're not going to heckle me like you're the goofy guy, are you?" Meaning me, right? And he got them going, but it was crazy because then I went back and redeemed myself. But I don't know. Like, I love all of my own comedy clubs. Only twice I had problems out there comedy wise. Was in Chuckles, and there was a Holiday Inn in Knockem that Rick Morgan used to book. It was a nightmare gig.
Yeah.
I had a hard time in that room for some reason.
Well, yeah, because that wasn't really a comedy club. It was like a small banquet room in a hotel. What's his name? Mike Dillon. Was still booking there, but although he's been having some health issues, he hasn't been doing much for about a year. But
I never met him, but I heard he's a really sweet person.
Yeah, I like Mike. He's a good guy, but yeah, he's been facing some health stuff and.
Oh God! Well, the best times I ever had in comedy Long Island.
Yeah.
Governors, the brokerage in McGuire's, and another place you probably definitely remember. It's by in Huntington, Fast Eddie's.
I don't think I was ever there, but I remember hearing about it. In Huntington, I was East Side. That was
It's crazy. I went to the East Side twice, right?
Yeah.
To do a showcase and do a show, and Richie was so nice. He still is to this day.
Richie's great. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know what happened a while ago? He was booking the Borgata in Atlantic City, right?
Right.
And we were talking. He goes, it's a travesty you never worked here before. He goes, I don't know, it's good idiots. He goes, I'm going to try to book you in this room. That's what he said, right? So he went out of his way to do the best for me.
Yeah.
And what happened was then they changed bookers. He was out and other people were in. And it's like, he's always been a gentleman to me. I love him.
Everybody loves him. Yeah, absolutely.
He's the real deal. He's honest. He's up front. He knows what comedy is. And it's funny. I love him. I've seen him in Mall Cop, Kevin James movie. He was hilarious.
Yep.
It's crazy. I never met Kevin. You know him? Have you met him at all?
I have. He's been in here. He wouldn't go. He wouldn't record or go live or anything. But he spent about 5 minutes in here with me and Joey Cola once.
Oh, nice. Because,
yeah.
Like I said, I never met him. I only seen him years ago. But the thing is, I actually had an audition for his TV show. I never got it, but it was fun. Kevin can wait. The thing is, I think him and Chandler are hilarious, because especially when I seen the movie Mall Cop, I love that movie, the first and second one. Brilliant movie, am I right or wrong?
Oh, absolutely.
He was a sad sack that got the girl at the end, which I love. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And he's just hilarious. I mean, and the thing is, him and Chandler together are like comedy dynamite.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, that whole group there, Sandler and Kevin James and Adam Ferrara, like all those guys are just fantastic.
Have you ever met Ray Romano? I used to meet him. I used to see him years ago in a comedy show, like 30 years ago.
Yeah, sure. I know.
Always a gentleman. Always a sweet guy. He always was nice.
Oh, wow. That's good to know. Yeah.
Right. He treated famous comics like he did new comics. Same way.
What? So Kevin can wait. I'm assuming maybe the role you tried out for was the role that Roach got.
Oh no! This is just like a one shot deal.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to offer to beat Roach up for you. I would have done that for you.
Oh no, that's okay. No, he's a big guy. It'll take 5 guys to take him down.
I just get low and trip him. That's all.
I couldn't believe when I first met him. I met him through Steve Marshall years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Roach is a gentle giant. That's what I love about him.
Yes.
I'm like. You know what I said to him? I go, dude, I'd be smashing heads open if I were you. That's what I show. And he goes, only the jerks do. He's right, because everybody I met, 90% of big guys I met like him, was super cool and laid back. You know what I mean? Because they knew what they could do to people if necessary. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Yeah.
They were never instigators or troublemakers.
Yeah.
Never looked for nonsense.
Most of the. I mean, any walk of life, you're going to have some assholes. But really, in the 7 years that I've been working in this room, I would say 95% of the comedians that I've gotten to know are all, wonderful people.
Absolutely, because you know what it is. It's like the thing is. I mean, I'm sure you've seen this happen too, and I've seen it happen in the past since 1992. Sometimes people are very cool in the beginning. Then if they get something, even what they think is substantial, they become an idiot to people sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll put it this way, right? Comics are always like like when comics go, oh wow, they passed the comedy show, that's they're getting heat. To me, heat is getting your own sitcom on foot and making residuals for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? That's heat.
Right. No, you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, I always get amazed at how fast people will develop an ego over nothing.
Oh, of course, because like there's really no reason for it. Because I learned to leave my ego at the door years ago.
Right. which is a good thing, and especially now, perfect segue, because now you're starting to pop a little bit as President Jimbo.
It's been fun. It's been a great ride because it's been a weird one. Like I said, as you know, and you've seen it back in July. How young my fan base? They could be my children and grandchildren. Right?
Yes.
Well,
yeah, and but that was nice to see that. We filled up. I think it was like 2 or 3 tables of just people who wanted to see, who are fans of the show.
I think we're gonna have the same results again. I can feel it. I think it's gonna happen for us again.
I hope so, because ticket sales were low, but we were competing with the World Series. So now that the Yankees are gone, I'm hoping people will be like, all right, let's go out.
I'm a Yankee fan. Unfortunately, I'm a Mets fan, and I cried for 38 years.
Hey, man, I'm a Mets fanatic, and
Me too.
This was one of my favorite seasons. I don't even care that we didn't win. This was one of my favorite seasons.
Me too. It's like, and the crazy thing about the Mets is, I've been a Mets fan since childhood, right? And myself, and the thing is, I'm like probably like 10 years older than you are, but I went to the Met games in the early 70s with my grandfather and my dad.
Yeah.
Listen to how crazy prices went in. My grandfather would get us box seats reserved. Right? I don't even get them anymore as a regular person.
Probably not, yeah.
$8.
Oh, my goodness.
You can't even get a hot dog for that there now. Am I right or wrong?
You can't even park for $8.
$8, right? And what do you call it? I think and the thing is, right, box seats reserved. How crazy is that, right? Then I went like 11 years ago when I was doing comedy. People that I worked with knew some people that worked for the Mariners in Seattle. So
oh, nice.
Seattle. I sat we were super blessed, Tony. We sat like 10 seats behind home plate. How crazy is that?
That's
the kind
nice.
We had, right? And unbelievable, right? And believe it or not, the prices in Seattle weren't as bad as they are in any other place, because I heard in other stadiums they're super reasonable.
So yeah, but now we got to fly out to Seattle to for reasonable ticket price.
Oh no, but I mean, like Pittsburgh and places like that might be better.
Yeah,
off,
true.
Right?
Yeah, true.
But Seattle, have you ever been to Seattle? It's pretty wild. It's
never
unique.
been.
But the thing is, it rains a lot there. I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that too, and it's a little cold over there too. But
have you been to L.A.? I love California. I wish I lived there.
I've only been to L.A. once. Well, actually, San Fran, but I was 5. It's the only time I've ever been there.
Oh, I know San Francisco's a lot different. I heard it's a lot nicer in Northern California. I never been there because L.A. is more like show busy in Hollywood. And
right. Yeah.
Some of it, not all of it is, but I mean,
You would. I would think. You've probably made enough connections at this point, right? You could probably get some work out there in L.A.
The thing is, that how expensive it is to live there. You know what I mean? I was checking into stuff. I mean, to live there, and this is an estimated amount, right? To live there, not in the hood. I'm not living in the hood. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put myself. I'm too old to live in the hood. If this was 20-something, I'd be like, okay, I'll sacrifice a little bit, right?
Right.
But I figured it out, and this is the estimated amount. It might even be more. I'd probably need to make about $70,000 a year net, not even gross, to live there.
Yeah, that's tough. Although it's not much different here on Long Island, that's for sure.
No, I mean the thing is, especially with comedy. I mean, it's like the thing is now. It's like I'm really happy to be doing stuff with you and Don, because I like Long Island. It's no nonsense. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, it's just, I appreciate you guys. It's fun because, first of all, you're around my age group. You know what I mean? And I spent a lot of time in childhood in Long Island. I love it out there because I don't know how much like my cousin grew up in Massapequa Park, right?
Yep.
It was super country, like upstate New York then. I don't know how country it is now over there.
No, not at all.
It's more like Staten Island. You think like the suburbs?
It's definitely not as I think Staten Island's still a little more congested, but there is not. And Massapequa Park is it's a great place to live. It's kind of upper middle class, but it's a busy area. There's a lot of there's a big downtown area there. It's
Wow, because when I was there in the '70s, it was super like small, like you know what I mean, like they had like one, like it was different, and like I don't know if they still do, but they had a volunteer fire department then. They probably still do. Right
oh
now.
yeah, they do, yeah. And they have. So have you ever been to All American?
No,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
no, not at all. Sorry.
Oh, it is. I wonder if we can make this work tomorrow. It's a hamburger joint, and it's called All American.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, but it's the best burger you'll ever have in your life. I'm getting hungry
Whoa.
just thinking about it.
Oh, what do you call it? What was I going to say? In those days too, what do you call it? We used to go to visit my uncle, right, from Staten Island.
Yeah.
We had to leave by like 5 or 6 o'clock sometimes because there was no GPS. We needed a road map to get back home.
Right. Well, now you need to leave at 5 or 6 o'clock just because it's going to take 3 hours to get home.
Oh, you know what the worst is? The Belt Parkway is brutal. Am I right or wrong? Right?
Yep.
Is it still brutal these days?
Oh yeah, it's awful.
What is
Awful.
it? They're doing construction on the constant, or it's just always busy.
I just think there's too many people. We need to take some. We need to get rid of some.
I mean, I've been to various parts of Long Island, right? I've been way out as far as Amagansett. That's like God's country. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
right?
that is still kind of like that out there. In fact, even Don lives in a town called Manorville, which is he's bordering the Hamptons. I mean, he's like. So we're here in Levittown. He's at least an hour from here, east of here. He's way out. He's way out in many ways, but physically he's way out.
Port Jeff is far too, right? I've been there.
Yeah, Port Jeff. But yeah, Port Jeff is probably almost an hour from here too. But
you know what's crazy? From Penn Station to Port Jeff, there's 2 trains, not just one.
Right.
Transfer. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what the hell is this?
But I'd rather do that. If I'm going to Connecticut, I'd rather go that way and take the ferry, even though I'd have to pay $50 to get my car on the ferry. But I'd rather do that than cut through the city because it's so stressful because you're in this parking lot for so long, cutting through the city, and you just envision yourself being 5 hours late to wherever you're going.
Oh God, yeah. Because I mean, like, but the thing is, like, there's. Like Staten Island, there were like Sal lives in Hicksville from the Howard Stern show. I love him. He's a great friend for years, right?
Nice.
And he was telling me there are parts of Long Island like Beverly Hills. He says like the South Shore, I think it is. He said, right?
Well, no, it's actually the North Shore.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah, the North Shore is. I mean, you can look at. I just recently saw pictures because Billy Joel's selling his house. And there's pictures on the internet of most of the house, and I mean it's just amazing. It's amazing,
unbelievable. Because but the thing is, I like Long Island because it's a lot different. You know what I mean? And the cool thing is, if you work in Manhattan, to live out on Long Island is cool. But the Long Island Railroad, you escape Manhattan.
Right. Yes.
I actually love the Long Island Railroad. It's a nice train ride.
Oh yeah. It's especially to come to this area. It's only maybe depending on how many stops, but it's only on the average a half hour to 45 minutes.
But when we went to Port Jeff, I'm like, oh my God, another train now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, the thing is,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
What is that? A robot behind you? What do you got behind you there?
Behind me? What, this?
Yeah.
It's a gaming chair.
Oh, I have no idea. I thought it was a robot. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, I'm sitting on a robot's lap, and we're now
That's
engaged.
Funny because, there's so many things now. Like to us, gaming was like a pinball machine.
Oh yeah, it's true. And this chair is it's expensive too. Do you know Anthony Rodia?
I never met him, but I know who he is, definitely.
Well, he had a show in here at one point, and he he wanted gaming chairs in here, so we have 2 gaming
Whoa.
chairs in here, and yeah, they went right out and bought them for him. So, then he left. Then he stopped doing the show in here.
Whoa, because but the thing is, I look online. I like going on eBay and other places, just looking stuff up. It's crazy. I was looking the other day at how expensive original pinball games are in mint condition. Oh man,
How much are they?
you're talking in the high thousands.
No kidding, really?
You thought it'd be a lot less. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I thought it'd be a lot less. I didn't think people really cared anymore.
No, you know why? Because think about it, right? Probably some gamers want to go vintage.
Right? Yeah.
That's the weird thing about that. See, that's the weird thing about the age group of Smiling Friends, right?
Yeah.
They know a lot of stuff I didn't think they would know.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? It's it's great. And the thing about I call them Gen Z. They're very polite and they're a different kind of kids.
Yeah.
They don't have any. They're but the sad thing about their generation too is some of them are kind of really awkward with people. Am I right or wrong? They just
Yeah, because they're so busy on their, on
You
their.
know what's really sad? Halloween yesterday, right? I've been living on this neighborhood 7 years now, right?
Yeah.
And but I used to live on the other side of the block, years ago, right? And
Right.
I've been living in this neighborhood since 1987, right? A long time.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Where I am now, I've been here 7 years. We don't have any kids trick or treating at all. Not even one bell ring.
Yeah, I was talking about that with my wife yesterday. I have noticed it seems like it's, it just seems like there's less and less kids every year.
You too? I thought it'd be a lot of people on Long Island.
No, well, not in our neighborhood. I don't know why, but not in our neighborhood. And
so it's wow.
and that's another thing. If Criticos showed up here like he was supposed to, I had some Halloween candy. So now I'm just eating Kit Kats by myself.
Oh, Kit Kats are awesome. Are you a big fan? I love them.
All right, I'll save you one for tomorrow. How about that?
Thank you. They're my favorite show. I love them more than anything. They're my favorites, right?
Wow, I see that work.
You're a big Kit Kat fan too, I guess.
I'm a milk chocolate. That's that. See, I don't drink, so yeah, that's where this gut comes from. Is eating this
No,
stuff.
you don't have a gut. I have a gut if anybody does. But the thing is, I like Kit Kat and M&M's. Peanut M&M's are so good, right?
I don't like the peanut, but I like plain M&M's. That's one of my weaknesses.
That's so good, right? Oh, you know what's really, really cool? I ate recently. There's a really expensive thing called truffles.
Yeah.
Right. I was looking online. They come from Italy, right? They're could be a couple $100 a pound. How crazy is that, right?
Wow.
But you know what it is? They're like mushrooms.
Yeah.
But they're so deep down in the earth. You know what I mean? So deep, you have to really I don't know, they're a specialty. But you know what I had? I don't know if I had them. I think it was at what do you call it? The Little Room in Governor's last time. Truffle fries.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So good, right? I'm like, whoa.
Governor's has good food, man.
They had great food in that place because, truffle fries are fantastic. I love them. Because, you know what I had recently? And I shouldn't have got it in this place. I went to a steak place. And had what do you call it? Damn it! I'm sorry, I'm brain slipping here. What do you call it? Escargot, snail.
Oh,
right? But it wasn't in the right place. You know what I mean? Because if you got to remember where you're going. If you're gonna get snails, go to a French restaurant.
Right.
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 You don't go to snail. You don't go to a diner for snail.
Right.
You know, I learned my lesson the hard way. I went to a diner for spaghetti, meatballs, and something else like that. I'm like, oh no.
Wow.
That's where you go.
Yeah. Well, if you're nice to me tomorrow, maybe I'll buy you a burger or some truffle fries here at Governor.
I appreciate it but listen, I got to get going.
Yeah. Okay.
But you were so much fun. Hey man, I had a great time. This is the first time we really got to talk about anything.
Yeah. We'll have to do it again. We'll definitely do it again.
I'd love to do it again because
cool.
The thing is, normally we do a conference with Don. And I love Don. He's a great guy too.
Don is the best. Fun. Don is the best.
We never did this. It's fun, man. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
My pleasure, pal. And I appreciate you jumping in, especially.
I wish I lived a little closer because Long Island is a hike for me to come out. You know what I mean? Actually, I'm getting a ride tomorrow. You know that, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, good. I wasn't sure. Okay, good to know.
Did Don tell you, and I'll talk to you offline.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm glad you got a ride. So yeah, that's good to know. That's great.
Yeah, because I'll tell you more about it tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll leave you a message on Facebook. But hey, everybody, thank you so much. It was so much fun, Tony.
Thank you, pal. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little while, and we'll see you tomorrow night here in the Giggle Room.
It's gonna be fun. Take care.
See you, bud.
Bye bye.
See ya. All right, there we go. Let me get myself situated here. Mike Bocchetti hanging out with us today on the show. All right, let me do this and do that and do that. Okay. Thank you, Mike Bocchetti, for joining us today. That was very nice of him. Let's see. We thank Mike Bocchetti for hanging out with us today. So yeah, come see him tomorrow. He's done he did a show with Don and I back. Oh, there's Don calling now. Hang on. You there?
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what is happening?
How's it going, man? I'm just catching up right now with the show today.
Nice.
So no Criticos again?
So yeah, he. I was telling everybody earlier. So yeah, he canceled on me Monday, probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock that morning. But he was already scheduled to do Monday and today. So I was like, all right, kind of sucks that you canceled on me, but all right, I'll see you Friday. I go on at 11 o'clock. 10:36, he texts me to tell me that he's not coming. I was like, you prick bastard. He did offer to call, and he asked for the number. I didn't give it to him.
Well, if he really cared, he could have just looked at the screen and saw the number.
Well, true. Yeah, I'm sure he's not watching. But and I was telling and Mike Bocchetti was scheduled to come on and Zoom with us at noon. And him and Greg don't really know each other. They've met, but they don't really know each other. So it would be fun to get some banter between them and get them to talk. So I was kind of scrambling last minute, to find some stuff to talk about because I had a whole bunch of questions for Greg. That was going to be the bulk of my show. So I was scrambling for things.
What was some of your questions for Greg? Let's see if we could hash this out.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Where did I put them? Hang on. You know what I did? I put it like. I kind of stored it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I kind of put it like deep into my pile because I knew I didn't need it.
All right, and I'll do my best job at answering for Greg.
So ladies and gentlemen, we have Greg Criticos on the line with us.
How's everybody doing over there?
Greg, thanks for calling, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, I would never miss your show ever.
I see that. Yeah, but you missed out, Greg. I brought in Halloween candy. You missed out on the Kit Kats.
I love Kit Kats and all that stuff, and I love all of those kind of candies. I dressed up yesterday as a Loompa Loompa, and I went house to house and got a lot of candy. You'd be surprised.
I bet. And being Greek, I bet you got some other things too.
Got some baklavas. I got some Kit Kats.
Well, Greg, my first question. Can you recall a day where you didn't take a picture of yourself and then posted it on Facebook?
I made myself a challenge a long time ago to see how I get more and more handsome every single day, and I want to share that with everyone.
Thank you.
To see how handsome I get, because I'm a good-looking son of a bitch.
Yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth. Tell us. Well, first off, are you excited about tomorrow night? You will show up for that, right?
I will be there tomorrow night. I can't wait to see everyone. Everybody's going to be there to come on out. Make sure you get there. Mike Bocchetti and friends. We got a great lineup. I will be headlining, and I never disappoint.
That is the truth. You never disappoint, except for today. So and you got some TV shows in the works. You got some movies. You got this one movie called Scarred Angels. Why the desire to beat up Don Sill in Scarred Angels?
Don just got that punchable type of face, and we just wanted to have an excuse to beat him up. And this was a fantastic way to do it. Get him on camera and beat him up so I could rewind it and watch it again and again and again. it's like the gift that keeps on giving, me just beating up Don Sill.
You're naked when you watch that scene over and over?
Not for long. It's I finish quite fast and pull the pants right back up.
Well, Greg, I can't thank you enough for calling in and checking in, and we really look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
It's an absolute pleasure. I want everyone to come on out and see the show at Battle of the Boroughs, Mike Bocchetti and friends at the Giggle Room. Get your tickets now, govs.com. Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be so great, and we'll have leftover candy for everyone.
I just apparently got roped into buying Bocchetti a burger when he gets here tomorrow.
Nice. I think if anybody deserves a free hamburger, it's Mike Bocchetti.
What about you? You want a souvlaki or something?
Yes, the souvlaki, maybe a bacala. I also like anything that's goat meat or sheep. I love it.
Well, speaking of which, and you just went on a big trip to Greece.
Yes, I love Greece. Shout out to all my Greeks.
Okay, great. Thanks, Greg, for checking in.
Always a pleasure, Tony. You're the greatest.
No, you are. You are, Greg.
Yeah, I am. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Good times, man.
That was great.
It was just like having him there, dude.
It was. I closed my eyes, and it was like he was sitting right next to me.
But in all seriousness, anybody watching this, and if you have, you should come out. It's worth it. Come out, check out the show live. You get to meet all the comics afterwards. Mike Bocchetti, super good guy. He's making a big claim to fame these days with that cartoon Smiling Friends. So if you get a chance to watch Smiling Friends, it's on HBO and also the what's that cartoon network?
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim. So yeah, check them out. It's a big cartoon with a huge fan base and growing. It's like a cult following, and I think it's starting to catch real fire. And they just signed Bocchetti onto another season.
Nice.
So this could be an opportunity to see Bocchetti. And if you have never seen Mike Bocchetti live, you have to see him live. The guy is a one-line king.
Yes.
He's just hilarious. I was literally, last time we did a show with him, I was in tears.
Yes. Laughing
so hard because he's just so funny, and he's self-deprecating in a very good way, where you don't feel sorry for him. You're actually laughing along with him. He's tremendous. He's just a great dude. I love Mike Bocchetti.
Yeah, I was I was talking about that earlier. That when he did that show with us in July, he was hilarious. President Jimble is his character on Smiling Friends on Adult Swim. In case you're wondering who we're talking about, and go ahead.
I was going to say, for those of you who are still undecided with the big election coming up, write in President Jimble. Feel free to write that in.
That's
and
a
maybe
great
he could
idea.
become our actual president.
That would be kind of scary. I brought up Smiling Friends on Adult Swim. I brought that up to him, but he was too busy talking about food and I don't know. I don't even remember what he was talking about.
I talk to Mike quite often, and he can go off on tangents. He does the weave, as Donald Trump says. He the weave is when you are on a topic, but then you go away from that topic for a long period of time.
Right.
But then you close back on the topic, so you go like all different areas and come back to it. I think Trump actually got that style from talking to Mike Bocchetti.
Nice.
And figured it out, learned from him. But yeah, Mike's a great guy. You never know what the conversation. You might think you know what the conversation is going to be when you call him, but you never really know what the conversation is going to be when you call him.
You're absolutely right about that. And I mentioned earlier with tomorrow night would have been Game 7 if it came to that. So I'm hoping now that there's not a Game 7. Not that I'm bad-mouthing the Yankees, not that I'm happy they lost, but now you don't have anything to do tomorrow night, so get yourself some reservations to this show tomorrow night. It's going to be great. Like Don said, you can meet Mike after the show. You can meet Greg, Courtney Otero, and and Johnny McDonald, Sean Kearns, are all accessible. They're all nice. You can take pictures with them, hang out with them. And it's history. It's a historic night. Andrew Farella is making his comedy debut. So,
and he seemed like a good kid. He was on your show.
Yes.
He seems like he's funny. He's a musician. And also, this is an opportunity for some of the younger kids that are performing to see them before they might move up.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about comedy, and is you never know, where these comics are going to go next. Especially in the New York area, a lot of people start blowing up, and Netflix specials and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And,
exactly.
And you see the potential with the Sean Kearns. Johnny McDonald's been doing it for a long time. He's a real pro.
Oh yeah.
Courtney Ortera, she's really super talented, and she's one of those who could do it all. She acts. She's makes films. She's on camera, off camera. She dances, and on the weekends she dances on the poles.
Oh.
So everyone should. I just made that up, but everybody should just go check it out.
So does Sean Kearns, by the way. He's dancing on poles on weekends too.
He does. He's that's what he does.
Right.
And that's an industry secret. And but yeah, so everyone's. I think it's worth for everyone to come out and check out the show live. Also support Govs. This is our Governor's Comedy Club podcast.
That's it.
Presents.
Right.
So if you want to represent the Govs podcast, you want to represent Knockem Dead, I think come on out, and it'll mean a lot to us, and it'll be a fun night.
It would be much appreciated, and and I'd love to see you guys come join us, and I'll be there to and I'll be hanging. So so it'll be a great night, and then once we get this, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would love for Mickey Delaney to come on out, and he can meet. He might have his new best friend in Mike Bocchetti. I think that's a possibility.
It does seem like a match made in heaven. So Mickey, go get your airline tickets, or just start driving now, because Mickey's in Seattle. So it might take you a few minutes, but get on down here. And I'll buy you a burger too if you come all the way from Seattle. I'll buy you a burger, Mickey. I'm sure.
If Mickey Delaney comes out from Seattle, I will make sure to come out and get him a hamburger too.
All right. Oh, Mickey, that's a big statement right there, because Don's not scheduled to be here tomorrow. So so Don's going to change his plans just for you, Mickey.
I got to see history in the making.
It is going to be a great night. And then once we get this one done, then we'll start promoting the next one, which I think will be a pretty historic night as well.
Yeah, I was just on the phone with Rick Adana earlier today.
Nice.
That's all happening. It's in motion. We got Don Jameson and Mark Riccadonna, the evil twins of comedy. They're coming out on December 13th, which is going to be huge. It's going to be another Mike Bocchetti and friends, so he'll be hosting. He goes back with both of those two. Also, you'll be performing on this bill, Tony Walker Fresh. And at the end, I will be doing a live Q&A as requested from Rick Adana. Rick Adana asked me if I would do a Q&A. He's like, I really want you to get you on the bill. And I'm like, well, I don't really perform comedy anymore. Oh, come on, man, look at you. He's like, wow, I got it. You host the Q&A at the end. I said, that's perfect. That's what I love to do. So I will be doing a live Q&A.
I think you should do a set. I think you should do a set where you enact a conversation between Criticos and Rick Adana.
Hey, Mark, what's going on over there? I'm just hanging out. Yeah, move over. That's my spot. I'm sitting in your seat? Yeah, get up. That's my spot. But I thought you were sitting over there. No, now I'm sitting there. Move, fuckface. And that's how end scene.
That was genius too. The scenario you came up with right there. You're in my seat. Oh shit, that was great. this is what you'll see on December 13th.
December 13th, come out for that. They call themselves the Evil Twins of Comedy, and they have a story for why. Don Jamieson, awesome dude. He's been on Conversations a few times, and Mark Riccadonna, his friends. He's had a show on Governors, and it's just... I'm watching you laughing on delay right now. It's so funny. But yeah, so come on out to that one as well, December 13th, and that one I will be there, also doing the live Q&A at the end, and also it's a big meet and greet with everyone, so you can meet Don Jamieson, you can meet Riccadonna, obviously you could meet myself and Tony, and also the great Mike Bocchetti, who I love. I love Mike Bocchetti.
Yeah.
I'm just, I think the guy's the best.
Absolutely. So, govs.com, and, head on over. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for the call, pal. I really appreciate it. And let's, and I'm sure we'll end up talking Saturday night or Sunday or something.
Yes, indeed, my friend. I'll talk to you soon, brother. Keep it up.
Thanks for the call, pal.
You got it, man.
See ya. Don Sill checking in. That was great. All right, let me read some comments. I haven't been checking the comments since I was talking to Mike. Sorry, but there was something about the volume. I did turn my volume down while talking to Mike, so you guys can, hopefully it was equal, so you guys can turn your volume up. I am having some Zoom issues here, which might be part of the reason, but I think it's mostly, it's just the way they come in. When you're not, see, we've talked about it in here sometimes. That's the benefit of doing a podcast in a real studio, because you can adjust levels and fix things and do things, and dealing with people out of their basements, that's what happens. Fremder, I wish I was Amish so people can call me Jebediah while I churn butter. That was one of the things we were talking about, right? The Amish. Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm still alive. Listen, I have to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
This has nothing to do with your show. This has to do with Wednesday's show. What did you do to Kaplan? Did you set a firecracker up his ass? He was amazing on Wednesday. He participated. He smiled. He talked. It was like a Kaplan that I never knew before. He wasn't his miserable, normal self.
It's funny. You have got to be probably the fifth or sixth person to ask me this question. He was definitely feisty on Wednesday, and he was cursing. Well, you know what, but I do have a theory to this.
Okay.
He was, he was a little feisty. He was energetic because we were talking about him and his birthday. So when it's all about him, he gets energetic.
Well, he hates his birthday. He blames everything on his birthday. He blames his sad sack, miserable life on his birthday.
And that's basically what he did on Wednesday, was talk about that. But
yeah, that's true. Yes, but he didn't tell you the birthdays that he had when we were neighbors. Dawn Rusciello gave him beautiful birthdays.
See, now if I'm John and Dawn Rusciello, I'd be mad, because I said to him on the air, I said, you must have had some good birthdays in your adult life. And he said no.
Well, I was going to call in and call him a liar, but to know Mike, you got to love Mike, and you got to understand where he comes from. So it doesn't even Mars. No, he comes from he actually comes from the devil himself. Really, you have to. There's no way this man can be normal. So I love the guy. I love him to death, and I'm very serious. He's a great guy. But he definitely has issues. And the only way you can stop that issue is to smack him in the back of the head once in a while. He wakes up. Yeah, but I tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. And anybody that knows Mike as well as you and I do, that's a big accomplishment. All right? That was a big accomplishment.
I agree with you. He hates his birthday, but I just think the fact that because we were talking about him, that energized him and that got him into it, because he doesn't like any other subject but him and Bruce Springsteen. Those are the only two topics he likes.
Oh yeah, well he won't speak about Bruce Springsteen in front of me. because I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan for obvious reasons.
Yes.
But that's a different story. But anyway, I just figured you did something. Maybe you gave him a hype or something. Maybe you gave him a little injection. I don't know, or something. Or maybe somebody tickled his balls. Who the hell knows?
We could all use
But
a
that
good
was
tickle, a good ball tickling. That would make me happy.
Yes. Okay. And that being said, you have a wonderful weekend.
You too,
I
pal.
love your shirt. I love your shirt. That's a really nice shirt you got on.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's an amazing shirt. Can you? Do you know anybody that gives those shirts away or anything like that?
This is the only one in existence.
I figured that. Yes.
Don't worry. Your Knockem Dead comedy shirt will be mailed out very, very soon.
Oh, no, I wasn't mentioning. I didn't mention it for that reason. I just said you.
I didn't make any accusations.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm just saying it's a nice shirt. You look good in blue. Usually you wear different colors, but you look good in blue.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
And listen, go suck an egg. Bye.
Oh my goodness, what a weird show. Let's see. So reading the comments. Let's see, where were we? Okay, there we are. Mickey, we mentioned. Hi, Ann. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody's saying good morning to each other. Fremdar, I heard Abe Lincoln was into theater. The price of living in L.A. isn't bad, says Fremdar. My wife and I just got a great deal on some property right off the side of the highway on a single-family luxury tent. Back in the day, I used to know a chick named Gen Z. Oh, my goodness. Everybody's saying hi to each other. What is this? Do you think Diddy will go to prison for first-degree manslaughter? Oh, my goodness. 18-wheeler. 18-wheeler. Don't know who you are, but thanks for watching. And I hope you don't become a dick like some recent new people who were watching. Vicky says that was really great, Don. Let's see. Mickey, you're still sick? Wow, Mickey, I hope you get better, man. Holy cow. Ann was under the weather too, but she says she's going to be fine. Antibiotics is a lifesaver. Ann, hope you're well. Tony, if you're confused what I'm chatting about, I have bronchitis and what is that? Phonemoia? Is that supposed to be pneumonia? I don't. Phonemoia. I don't know what that is. Whatever it is, I hope it's not serious. I mean, and it doesn't appear to be since you keep saying you're going to be fine. And that's all that counts. Vicky, too. Vicky's a little under the weather, too, so we wish her well as well. All right, so we were checking in with Mike Bocchetti. We checked in with Don Sill. We heard from John Rusciello. That's a pretty good lineup. Thank you, all three of you, for covering my ass. Mike Bocchetti was scheduled to be on anyway, but I don't think he was going to stay on as long. But he definitely stayed on longer because Criticos didn't show up. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I had so the show ends in about 20 minutes. I don't know if I'll even go that long, to be honest with you. I might cut it off early today because most of the show was planned around Craig. So I don't really have much, but I did have some final thoughts. Yes, Fomania. I don't know what that is. Fremder had a comment, but now it's gone, and I did not delete it. I actually just saw it disappear. I believe it was something about Diddy, but yeah, I actually watched it disappear. Oh, is Sean? It disappeared again. It was something about Diddy. Okay, so I had some final thoughts on the World Series. You know, a lot of people are upset. It's a sad time in New York. You know, the Mets came super close to getting there, and the Yankees did get there, and they lost. They lost very poorly. What's the announcer's name? Steve Sterling? Steve Sterling? He retired in the spring, and then he came back just for the postseason. there was one point Gleyber Torres hit a home run, and he said, like a good Gleyber, Torres is there. That reason alone, they deserve to lose the World Series. I'm sorry, Steve. Has he always been saying that? It was the first time I ever heard it. I do like the guy, but I didn't listen to him every day because I don't watch the Yankees regularly. If I had to listen to him every day, I think I'd probably end up hating him. Sorry. But if he says stuff like that every day, plus, I've said it a million times, Gary, Keith, and Ron, the best there is ever. The best broadcasting team ever. Those guys, and I'm sorry, I'm a huge Ralph Kiner fan, a huge Tim McCarver fan. Loved Tim McCarver. Almost cried when he died. Was that last year he passed away? But Gary, Keith, and Ron, when it's the three of them together, they are the best. They are the best that's ever been. It's pneumonia. Pneumonia is a form of pneumonia? Oh, okay. Pneumonia is nothing to sneeze at, so be careful, Ann. I had pneumonia once. It was nice. I was off from work for 6 weeks. But other than that, it kind of sucked. So, yeah, like a good Gleyber, Torres is there. Steve, go back to retirement. The other thing that bothered me, if Sean Combs played the violin, he'd be Diddler on the Roof. That's what all this was about? That's what the comment was disappearing all the time about? You already used that joke. My other issue, and I've talked about this before, was game 5 the other day. Babyface, if you guys are familiar with the singer Babyface, he came out and sang the national anthem. And did a super, super job. He just sang it straight. He didn't, go off in all these weird, areas. He just sang it straight, and he was fantastic. But what killed me, and like I said, I've complained about this before. I can't stand, it's become the norm. It used to be, when I was a kid, it doesn't matter where you are. And I'll stick with baseball. It didn't matter where you are in the stadium. National anthem's playing, you stop dead in your tracks, and you wait. And then when the national anthem's over, then you continue on with wherever you were going. Nowadays, people just keep on walking to their seat. They're talking to the person they're with until they get to their seat. And it's not just baseball. You see people everywhere walking while the national anthem's playing. And how many people do you see nowadays that don't take their hats off? I disagree with the NFL when they were taking the knee. I personally disagreed with it. I take that back. I disagree with why they were taking the knee. I didn't disagree with taking the knee. As Americans, they have that right. I think they're wrong for taking a knee. I don't think that's the time to make their statement. I don't think it's changing anybody's opinion on anything. And the only thing you're doing is making people more mad. And I do have a problem with people that have a lack of respect for the national anthem. I went to a Met game when I was a kid. My uncle took my brother and I to a game, and he brought his then fiance, now wife, with him. And she was in a bad mood, and she was a spoiled little rich bitch. And she was in a bad mood, and not only did she have a hat that she kept on during the national anthem, but she didn't even get up for the national anthem. She stayed seated. I remember back then, I think I was 6 or 7. And I remember being mad then. And I remember I kept looking at her. Thankfully now I haven't seen her in almost 30 years. But I'm sure she's still the same miserable bitch. And most people who do stuff like that are miserable bitches. Shut up. Stop. So that was what was bothering me at the Yankee game the other night. Babyface is singing. Not only, so the crowd, so the camera's panning, throughout different places in the stadium. And you see people walking. And what bothered me too is that you see people with their phones. And they're filming, I understand it's a historic moment. You're at a World Series game. But for the national anthem, can you just put the phone down? And then people too, or they're actually watching the television feed on their phone because they saw when they were on camera. So now they're like, hey, they're elbowing the people next to them and they start waving, making faces. No, it's the national anthem. I don't know. And then even when they show Babyface, you can hear people yelling in the background. I don't have a problem. Like you see at a lot of sporting events, people will start to clap early, right around the time they get to the line in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Right around the free, the people start to clap early. I don't have a problem with that because you're applauding the national anthem. You're just starting early, and it should be applauded. The person singing it should be applauded. But people that are talking, about something else. People that are making faces and waving to the camera. Come on. I don't know. Am I sounding like a get off my lawn type? I don't know. That just really bothered me the other night, and it bothers me when I'm out places and people are walking and they keep their hats on. It pisses me off. Oh, Fremder. This might be one of your worst ever. I used to date a hot chick with a great singing voice named Anthem. Whew, Fremder. Thank you, John. John says, spoken like a true American. Good for you, Mr. Walker. Thank you, Mr. Rusiello. I had a feeling you would agree with that. Yeah, so all right, and those are my final thoughts on the World Series. Still, I think everybody's still kind of feeling it. This was a big loss. Let's see. And should I end the show with that? Maybe I will. On Monday, thank you, Mickey. Mickey says, you're right, Tony. On Monday's show, we have, and Ann says it too. I'm with you, Tony. Let's show our respect. Yeah, absolutely. But, the thing is, it's not just... like I said, I'm still with the thought of did I sound like an old get off my lawn type guy? But that's the thing. A lot of these people that I'm seeing with the hats on and walking while the national anthem's playing, it's not. This is not a back in my day. It's people. I'm seeing people my age doing this. It's not. This is definitely not a these kids of today. I'm not doing. I mean, yeah, I've seen young people doing it too, but it's not limited to them. Maybe you're turning into a curmudgeon. Vicky, maybe you should take some more meds and go to sleep. So on Monday's show, we have joining us Terry Jo Santos. She's an old friend of mine. I've known her since junior high school. Back in Hicksville, when we were kids, her name was Terry Jo Kaloya. She will be joining us on Monday. She and I did mention it quickly a week or two ago. She, through her church, she lives in Rhode Island. Through her church, she found some organization that where they take volunteers down to North Carolina to help with the relief effort because Hurricane Helene wiped out a good chunk of North Carolina. And North Carolina is hurricane territory, but if you guys remember, Hurricane Helene, remember they were telling Florida, like, this is going to be one of the worst hurricanes ever, get out. And it ended up not really doing much damage in Florida and then surprising North Carolina and wiped out this one particular area called Asheville. Oh, I should have asked Don about that. Damn it, I didn't even think of it. But so Terry Jo's been down there for the past 3 weeks or so, helping out with the relief efforts. So I was curious to hear about it. I don't think I've ever known anybody that's been, in the front lines like that of a relief effort like that. I take that back. I did know somebody that worked for FEMA, but even then, I think they were working in an office. Terry Jo's been in the front line. She's been in the office. She's been doing a few different things. I haven't. Terry Jo and I were friends, but I haven't actually seen her or even talked to her physically. We've had a little bit of conversations on Facebook, but hardly anything. It's been probably about 15 years. So it'll be nice to catch up with her, and I'm sure we'll talk a little Hicksville. But we're mainly going to talk about what she's doing down there in North Carolina. So I don't anticipate it being a big hilarious crazy conversation. Might be some serious stuff, but interesting stuff. And we'll have some laughs too. Terry Jo's all right. So that's the story there. And that's Monday. And like I told you, Tuesday I will not be here. If I haven't already, I will definitely set an old show up to play on Tuesday. Let me see. Did I? I don't know if I set anything up. Let me see real quick. Let me see what I set up here. Oh, don't forget tonight, Donversations. I forgot to ask Don about that too. Don will be talking to Mike Eruzzoni, and I hope I'm saying that right. Mike was on the 1980 Miracle Olympics hockey team. So how cool is that? I don't see anything set up for Tuesday, so I will find something to play on Tuesday. Don talking to one of the hockey players from the 1980 Olympics. How cool is that? So that's tonight at 8:00 on Donversations, and then that's it for us for this weekend. Coffee. Oh, Don's calling back. Yeah, I forgot a whole bunch of things to talk to you about.
Dude, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I wanted to tell you, everybody, to check out the interview with Mike Eruzzoni tonight. That was a huge one because Mike Eruzzoni is, we're getting close to the election time. We need American heroes more than ever, and he was a true American hero when we needed it the most back in 1980.
That's right.
We reflect on that time. He was the captain of the team. He scored the game-winning goal versus, the Russians at that time during the Cold War. It was a huge, huge deal. Anyone who was alive and watched that game remembers where they were. It was that big of a moment. When we won, it brought morale back. It was the birth of the USA chant. USA, USA began during that hockey event. And just to be able to talk to him, he was also in, numerous documentaries, numerous books about him. He's got a book out now that he just wrote about the miracle called The Making of a Miracle. It was Al Michaels. Do you believe in miracles? It's just such a huge thing. And talking to Mike Eruzzoni was awesome. So everyone, please check it out. It's a lot of fun. He was super cool. So I just wanted to throw that out there since I had you here today.
Yeah, I did. I actually did say it literally just seconds before you called. That's going to be a fun one to see. And then I also I wanted to ask too, where is Asheville, North Carolina? Was that near you when you lived down there?
No, Asheville's more like in the mountain areas.
Okay.
It's a really nice town over there. It's like a hipster vibe, but also mixed with like kind of local mountain types. So it's an interesting place. I've gone there a few times, but it's about like 2.5, 3 hours from Raleigh, from where we were. It's up in the mountain areas. Rich Scheidner, who was on my show not too long ago, great comedian, Rich Scheidner, his comedy historian, he lives there in Nashville.
Oh, wow.
So thank God he and his wife are okay. Minimal damages happened to his home. He was fortunate. But, yeah, he lives right in that town. So.
Oh, wow. I wonder if my friend has crossed paths with him. I'll have to ask her. Very nice.
Yeah, it's very possible. But, yeah.
Cool.
But, shout out to all the people over there, weathering literally that storm that happened. I think they're recovering. I think they fixed most of the roadways, and they're starting to open up businesses back again. So I think they're rebounding back, thank God. And, yeah.
Yeah, my friend said that it is, because there were so many conflicting news reports, which makes me nuts about anything, that there's, different reports on the same topic, but she said it's more like the worst reports. That really said that that area was devastated. And she said,
they definitely,
yeah.
I was hearing the same things. It was definitely worse than what a lot of media were reporting.
Right,
and it's just there's a lot of weird stuff that goes with that whole scenario. Just, and you don't know anymore what's real and what's not real. It's even hard to fact check stuff these days. But, as far as like people, not taking, like the government pushing away help and things like that. I don't know how true any of that is. But when you hear from, people that are there and they say, "Oh yeah, I mean, no one's helping us," you can only take it at face value, man. I mean,
right. I actually missed the days where people used to complain that all the news outlets were reporting the same thing. I actually missed that because at least back when it was 3 channels, we were getting the real deal back then, without opinions. We were just getting the news.
Well, opinion news and social media definitely changed the landscape of news and podcasts now too. When voices like Joe Rogan's are more valued than that of the guy on NBC News or whatever. Name a station. I'm not being biased, but the truth is when more people trust Joe Rogan or a podcaster more than they trust their local newscaster, that says a lot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, that's a shame. Wow.
Yeah. And I'll be, if anybody wants to watch my podcast, I'll be reporting the news, so you can tune in and listen to me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd actually like to see that. And tonight, the news with Don Sill. Motherfucker.
I don't need any more hate than I already get.
That's great. That's really funny. All right, cool. Yeah, it's all right. Time for me to sign off. Thanks, pal. Thanks for calling back.
Yeah, brother. Hey,
all right.
Check it out. Michael Ruzioni, everybody.
Tonight at 8 o'clock. Thanks, brother.
Yep. You got it, man.
See ya. Okay, yeah. So it is time for us to go. Thanks for sticking with us today. Little unorganized due to last minute change of plans. So I appreciate you guys sticking with us. And then so Monday will be me and Terry Joe. Oh, and all right. So sorry, I'm thinking of other things. So yeah, that's Monday. Coffee with the Dog Monday morning at 9. After I do my show on Monday, that's it. There's no treading water. Steve Squared will be on remotely, of course. There is no Let Them Cook because I will not be in the studio the rest of the day. For I have something to do, which is why I won't be here Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I'll tell you all about what I was doing. So, and hopefully Mike will be here, and then maybe Diane will be joining us too. So, all right. So that's it for now. We're getting out of here. Don't forget, once again, the big show tomorrow night. We really hope to get a good turnout on this. That would be nice. Mike Bocchetti and friends, Clash of the Boroughs. Mike Bocchetti, great criticos. Andrew Farella, Courtney Otera, Sean Kearns, Johnny McDonald. Don't forget December 13th, Mike Bocchetti and friends again with the on December 13th with the Evil Twins of Comedy, Mark Riccadonna, Don Jameson, myself, Don Sill. December 21st, you have plenty of notice. It's only November, so come see us doing a murder mystery at McGuire's in Bohemia. November 16th, I believe it is, or the 15th. November 15th, the MMM Fest. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's in New Jersey. Music, movies, and mic drop. That's going to be a lot of fun. So please join us for that. The Elio Tour starts soon. When does it start? When is the first date? The 8th. So a week from today. A week from today, the big tour starts for Elio. If you're in England or know anybody that is, tell them to go. And Elio will be joining us November 21st. So go see that. December 27th, right here in the Westbury Music Fair, go see David Clark doing an Elton John show. I'll be there for that. And, of course, don't forget to vote for Hershey and the Keegs, Best of Long Island. Vote for them for Best Podcast. You can vote once a day, so go vote. Okay, time for us to go. Everybody have a great weekend. Whoops. There we go. Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks for hanging with us. And we'll see you Monday. And hopefully see you guys tomorrow. All right. See you.